Are we live? I believe we are. All right. If I am doing this correctly, and I am going to open the chat on the Zoom in the event anybody signs in on Zoom. And eventually I'm going to have this all set up to where I know what the hell I'm doing when this thing starts. But welcome, ladies. And since this is going out live on Facebook on the page, this is going to be a kind of an open environment. And oh, look, there's Jeannie. Hi, Jeannie.
Hi.
Oh my gosh, I am going to put this on the speaker. Okay, I guess, wow, cool. Okay, so if anybody joined, there we go. Yeah, I'm just learning this, so we're gonna see how much fun we have here. Don't laugh at me, Jeannie.
I just popped in to say hello. I saw this yesterday and I thought I might pop in and say hi.
So let me tell you what I'm doing. I am, and I don't know how to get the live stream focused when I'm speaking to keep me on. So technology challenges abound. So just bear with us. But what I'm doing is, and we can talk about why in a minute if anybody cares, but what I'm doing is every day in August, I'm going to go live on the Facebook page, the Bold Women Facebook page, through Zoom. So I'm actually signed into Zoom, and this is a Zoom call, and I put the link in the description yesterday, and I'll put it in the discussion comments after we're through here today, but it's going to be the same link all month. And I've made a commitment to go live every day in August at 10 a.m. Eastern time. Why? Well, there's two reasons. One is because being in front of the camera is really uncomfortable and I have to get comfortable with it. And so someone dared me to do this. And if they had not done it themselves last year, I would have not believed that they did it. So I said, well, I can do that. So here I am. And number two is the Bold Women community is something that is really important to me. I've been working on developing a community for 3 years now. It's hard to believe that it's been 3 years last month. And I'm writing and I'm posting, and while that's important, and while I think that, you know, people are engaging with it, it hasn't gelled like I know that it can. Why do I know that it can? Because I know I'm not alone. I know that there are a lot of women out there of a certain age who have left their career and are finding it difficult to find your footing, or your tribe, or yourself, really. You know, it comes down to it. So that happened to me, and that is my why for doing this, because 3 years ago, unlike today, there are, you see several women over 50, women over 60, you know, glorious retirement. There are a lot of Facebook groups out there now. For the most part, they don't speak to me because I don't want to retire. I did retire. I look at that as a verb. It's something you do. You retire from a career. I am not retiring, and I don't want to go into retirement. I don't necessarily want another job, J-O-B, but I want purpose and meaning and keep learning and growing. So that is why I'm here. That is why Bold Women. And each of these lives, I want to keep it to 5 minutes. Let's see how well I can time myself, right? But this isn't like a big, you know, workshop or anything. I just want to kind of put the topics out there, things that I'm thinking about. If you'd like to kind of pop into Zoom and ask a question, that's great. On the Facebook Live, I am not ambidextrous enough to like look for the chat there yet. I'm going to learn it. But if you have a question on Facebook, post it and I'll come back and answer it after the call. And so that's my why. So we've got like 20 seconds left, and I apologize, but let me just go through. This one's going to be a little bit longer, just a couple of minutes longer, if you'll bear with me. The why, I think, do we have this challenge, or so many of us women have this challenge, and I'm not excluding men because they don't have a challenge. I'm excluding men because I'm not one, and that's not what that's not my purpose. Since this live is going out to the masses, there may be some of you who have jumped on, and clearly I don't mean to ignore you, but I'm ignoring you right now. Or a lot of this will probably apply to you in a certain respect. But from a female standpoint, from a woman's standpoint, number one, I think that one of the reasons for me, and again, we're all different, but from me, and I think a lot of women in my generation, we grew up not knowing or not being presented with a different alternative of what retirement could be. Retirement was retirement. I didn't have real role models, right, of a strong woman who had a long, successful career and left and then continued to be vibrant and accomplish things and go on about her way. I had a pretty traditional mom who did not want to work outside the home, and I loved her, but that's not what I grew up with. And I think so much of who we are, we don't really even think, right, or have an awareness of. It's just something that is in our subconscious of what's right and what's wrong. And, you know, feeling like you want more sometimes after you leave your work, your career, in a way is like frustrating. It's almost this tug of war within yourself and you don't know why. I do think that combined with the fact that when we started our career in the 80s, it was all about being like a professional man, not letting your home life interfere at all, not showing your emotions, not showing your femininity, not, you know, crafting the career around what you want and what you need. It was crafting your career around what you had to be successful. And we learned that that's how we figured out what we wanted, was figuring out what we had to do, right? And I think when we leave work and all of a sudden it's whatever we want, in my case, and I think for probably a lot of you, you almost don't know how to figure out what you want, right? Because you spent so much of your life figuring out what you had to be successful, right? And how you had to behave and how you had to present yourself. It's almost like you forget who you are and how to figure that out. That's what happened to me. And I think the last why, and there's going to be a million, right? A million reasons for as many people as there are. But I think the third thing is the youth obsession and how much we don't want to look our age, how much we don't want to be perceived as old, and then the physical changes that happen and the health challenges that start to happen, and it's facing us and we hate it and we're trying to turn away from it. And I think all of this is going on at the same time. When you leave your work, you're faced with all of these things at the same time. And it's a lot. It's a lot to unpack. And so that's why I'm here. And I have gone over for 4 minutes, so please, I apologize, but I'm going to try to keep this to 5 minutes. If we find out it's impossible, then I'll just change my promise to 10 minutes. All right. So that's a lot. Again, it is a lot to unpack. If you have any questions, just send them in, put them in the comments and let me know, and come back tomorrow and we'll talk about something else. All right. Jeannie, thank you so much for popping in.
Sure.
Okay. I will talk with you guys tomorrow. Bye.